Hey stream, hey chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yep. Debate. Hey, when a window maximizes and you didn't intend for it to maximize at all. Okay, there it goes. Okay. Chats, they are async. Yes, deletes. I swear, if you hit the button on stream, even just accidentally for like a half a second, whole thing goes to crap immediately. Gaming and then yep. Oh, my tags didn't transfer. Whatever. Copy. Okay. Brand new video, by the way, guys, that I just posted on my YouTube channel. If you wouldn't mind terribly being a gem, a peach, whatever fruit you prefer, and clicking that link, giving it a like, I would appreciate it a lot. So it hits the algorithm. Lately, like it comes in waves. It comes in waves. What's up, Macrum? What up, what up, what up? It comes in waves, but like sometimes like I'm like hitting the algorithm each time. Other times it's just like, man, what am I doing wrong? And I do that thing where like I was like, all right, let's change it up. Let's do something slightly different. Okay, we'll change it up. And then it's like, oh man, this is worse. I'm like, okay, this works. Or like the thing I do, it takes so much effort to get it there. I'm like, this isn't sustainable. Like, this is wild. So I'd appreciate it. YouTube always tells me though that they're like, hey, this isn't gonna affect you. It's fine. And I'm like, you're lying. You're lying to me, YouTube. Don't be fibbing. The collector's bounty and greedy emissary. Those feel like the most relevant tags to me. Okay. Did I not select WoW? I'm pretty sure I did. Didn't. I'm an idiot. We're good. And then I got to copy the link again. YouTube always takes the longest. I apologize. All right, and then we'll pin. All right, we got this pinned in all the places except TikTok. I'm sorry, TikTok. Apologize. You guys don't get the special benefits. Okay. Oh, I'm just setting up my YouTube stuff. Whenever you start, like, whenever you're doing multi-streaming, the hard part about multi-streaming is that whenever you're trying to like actively like set it up and start it, there's only so much you can do while online or while offline. I mean, is what I mean. Some of the stuff you have to like hit the button and then it'll do it. Because YouTube has this system of defaults where it'll set it up like a certain way, and then once you hit start stream, then you can modify it. It gets kind of crazy. What's up, Alicia? But yes, be kind, ladies and gentlemen, and if you don't mind terribly, there's a new video out there. Just click on it, give it a like, sub on there. If you don't, I won't get them out. I'm just kidding. It's just algorithm stuff. it's not that deep. It's not as deep. Today we're gonna be doing some mount runs. I really haven't jumped into WoW a whole bunch this week. So I've been kind of slacking, to be honest. But I added an add-on, all of the things. I now have all of the things added to my bars. Why don't you change the game? Is it set to WoW? Let me go back. Let me double check. Okay, that one's WoW. And yeah, they both should be WoW. They both should be WoW. Oh, like Roblox? I'm not gonna lie, I got an offer from like Stream Elements. They want me to do a Roblox stream. I don't know where I would start with a game like that, to be honest. Don't like old games, I guess. I wouldn't say that's universal. I've brought my son into this room. He's asked me tons of times to play WoW. He's asked me tons of times. I think there's still people who are interested in WoW, even classic WoW, even. I think it's one, how you present it, but sometimes it's like truthfully, I think that sometimes it's just a matter of like how you overwhelm it. Like I saw a meme today. And it was like me when I play WoW versus me when I show people WoW. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It was funny. There was also an Anatoly transmog, and I thought that was funny too. Oh, did you guys see there was a drone show? Like a WoW anniversary show as well. That was cool. Gosh, where is it? I'm gonna get so mad if I can't find it. I literally just saw it moments ago. Is my channel of this? Yeah, my channel's this. Can't find it. I don't really know how to search things well on Reddit though. It's not entirely Reddit's fault. I'll show you guys this though, so you can see it. I'll pause this. Can I show this on the mobile? Dang it, I did the thing again where I made TikTok landscape. Oh man. Oh man. Man, oh man. When will I learn? It's not entirely my fault, Chad, though. That's my excuse. It's not entirely my fault. I'll put it at the bottom. All right, ready? Why is that over here? Here we go. All right, watch this. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna mess with sound. Just there's music to it, so I get scared on YouTube now. Look at that. That's crazy. And what it is, I learned what this is because I went to Disney and they did the same thing, but it's coordinated drones. Isn't that crazy? Like, that's wild. Like the Illidan Storm Rage, then the Xalatath, and then the Arthas turning into Lich King. That's crazy. Look at that one again. See how it changes? Boom. I like to me, like, I mean, that's wild. Definitely definitely kind of cool that they did something like that. But yeah. The meme was, in short, okay, so the meme was me when I play WoW and it's someone like, and then it was me when I recommend WoW and like they were just smiling. So I think to be honest, it's all about like how you present it. I think, believe it or not, despite its long track record, I think you still have to present WoW in a way that's like appealing to other people. I don't think there's like, just because it's been out for a long time, that it's just automatically appealing. I think you could do that back then maybe because there was such a limited amount of games that were worth playing. I think when there's game fatigue, it's worth playing WoW. Like when there's too many games out there and like nobody really wants, there's nothing really like good. I think nowadays it's a different meaning. It's like, it's no longer because there isn't any games out there truly, it's because there's nothing worth investing your time into for a long period of time. There might be games that are worth playing like once with your friends, but not for a long period of time like that. Like it's just not how it goes anymore. So I think WoW can still be appealing. I guess is the moral of the story. Or the moral of that story is that there's still something worth playing in WoW, even in the new young generation. You just gotta believe, man. I swear though, I used to be sold whenever I stopped playing WoW, and then I'd like say I would come back or something like along those lines. I swear, what would convince me is the starting zones. It's the starting zones. You one-shot them. Oh, this is all old world content. This is all old content. I wouldn't stress it. So it's all gonna be easy peasy. All right, we need to go to the eye, and then it's normal 25. So normal and 25. Not taking any chances. Finally, my quality is better. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Really worked hard. Nah. Allie, what? What are you talking about, bro? The okay. I'm not being rude. Okay, I don't understand what you're trying to say, man. I'm just trying to understand. I mean, like the first thing it said is that you really worked hard, and sadly, sadly no one cared. Seems rude. Big ol' questionable. Okay. Sorry, Rosary. It's fine. I'm registering some sort of like slight disconnect or language difficulty, so I can give you the benefit of the doubt. Just once. Once and once only. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, normal 25. Okay. Let's get it. This is how I double check. I don't know if this works. Like, I don't know how true this is. But I'll go into Adventure Guide. And then Kael'thas. Loot. Okay, it's there. Because, I mean, it's like, it should do it, right? It should work. Wouldn't it be great if the mount we got today was just ashes? Do you know grow a garden? That's get Fortnite so hard. I haven't been near Fortnite in a lifetime, to be honest. Like, I think the last season I played Fortnite was season 10, I think. I did like watch a few streamers do like the whole like Lego Fortnite, because that was kind of cool when they did that. But no, it's been a hot minute since I've perused Fortnite. Okay. Come back, my child. Come hither. It's sad you can't change how you're streaming on TikTok. Just like mid-stream. That'd be nice. All right. Oh, today, guys, I got so mad. I got so mad at something, and you know, whenever you're upset about something, whether it's about work or whatever, and the moment you go to like show somebody like, hey, this is what I was upset about. Like, look at this with me so you can realize why I was upset. And then whenever you show somebody, you realize like what you overlooked, and you're just like, oh man. Man, no one's gonna believe me now. now I'm just in a situation. I swear, it was like everything the stunt to where everything was going wrong. I had a courier who comes by. They come by to the lab and they go like I'm here to pick up the samples, but of course they're speaking German, and I can only grasp at a few words at best. And so I'm like, hey, how can I help you? Like, what can I do to help? They're trying to fill out this paperwork. And then as that's happening, I get a call from a doctor who goes, where's the results on this sample? Like, I'm expecting the results on this sample. And I'm like, I don't know. Let me take a look. I look at their profile. I see basically something got missed. And it looks like we forgot to collect the sample for them. So I'm like, crap, this means we're gonna have to do this all over again. Luckily, I found the sample in the fridge, like we still had it, but typically like stuff like that doesn't survive super long. So I'm like, I can run with see what I have, and then I'll let you know what I discover once the results come back. I was like, now I gotta add this to the like 2 or 3 samples that I'm already sending out, and I gotta do this while the guy is here. Gotta fill out the paperwork, I gotta collect the sample, I gotta transfer it, I gotta put it into shipping containers while he's here and waiting on me. And so after that situation goes down, I go to call my coworker and I'm like, hey, like, talk me off a ledge, like what happened? Like, this was like a disaster. And as I pull the patient's profile up to look this, like to show them exactly what I was doing, I'm like, oh, it looks like somebody logged it in. It was in I would say like in transport. It was in transport, so I couldn't see that it was in transport, or that it had been received. Like everything looked exactly like basically the sample got overlooked and it didn't get collected. But in that moment, I was like, crap, that wasn't the case at all. And so by the end of it, I just looked like this big dummy the entire time. I was like, no, I promise I'm telling the truth. Now no one will believe me. I thought I was like saving the day too. My dumb self thought I was like saving the day. I was like, thank God I was there in that moment. Otherwise we would have been screwed. Nope. I spent a good hour trying to figure out what went wrong. I spent at least an hour. it's made me sad. It's fine. It's fine. In the end, it's like no harm, no foul. It's not a big deal. I wanted to be mad somewhere. And be like, hey, don't make this mistake. And it turns out I was a dummy. I was like, man, I'll stress now. So, I mean, thankfully, in the end, nothing went wrong. It just looked like it went wrong. Why are you whispering, my guy? Dialogue. Music off. All right, let's go. Let's go. This is one of the coolest things, though. Like getting legendary weapons in the middle of a fight and then equipping those. That's cool. That's super cool. Yeah, many weapons. I mean, you get a lot of items for sure in these, but like none of this stuff is like current content item level, if that makes sense. The only reason you go for stuff like this is because you get drops that you can make your gear look like different stuff. It's called transmog. So it's just, none of this stuff is like current content. This is like stuff from like 2008. It's all older content. They definitely knew how to do like itemization in this game, like used to be.
It would be unfair to make you fight all organizers at once, but fair treatment was never shown to my people.
Going crazy?
Me, my prince. I have faith.
Bro was whispering. Okay, there it goes.
Sometimes one must take matters into one's own.
I have not come this far to be stopped. The future
All right.
I have planned will not be jeopardized.
There it is.
Now you will taste true power.
Where's the mount trap? I need to see it. Deep down, it's gonna happen right here. You're about to witness it. You're about to witness it right in a second, because there's like a little bit of talking that he does up here. Here, I'll want to give other games a chance. I just don't feel like it right now. I do play other games, but usually like smaller indies.
By the power of the sun.
Good for subscribers. I don't know. Variety, variety's fine. I just, I disagree that it's like automatically good for subscribers. That's not always the case. All right, here we go. Could we not? Could we not? This is. Oh, it's making me fly because it's gonna give me the mount. That's the logic I'm gonna employ. Ready? Watch me fall. Ooh. Dang, that hurt. All right, cool. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go, deep down. This one's for you. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Wow, 5 items. Stop. Oof. If I don't get ashes, I'm quitting WoW. And here I am, I'm still playing. That's a good methodology. So, yeah. Every time. I'm quitting. I'm done. This is it. Is there a Mimiron's head skip that I don't know of? I'm gonna do Wrath ones now. Do you get enough sleep? No, I mean most nights no. I sleep well. What's up, Jess? Guess who's back? Back. It's me every single day. I mention it to everybody. I'm like, where? I'm concerned even. But yeah, no, I would say most nights I sleep decently well. I'm a good sleeper. I just struggle to get to sleep some nights, but I don't have like insomnia or anything like that. It's just like I think I get in my own head creatively, and like I always think about what more I could be doing. Got 3 hours of sleep after forcing myself to sleep and woke up again. Now, oh my gosh! Now I'm at the party. Dang, going hard. Could be sleeping. Yeah, it's true. Any time spent in WoW is time I probably could have spent sleeping. Time better spent, I'm sure. Sometimes I sleep great, sometimes I sleep well. I would say once I get to sleep, I don't wake up. I am not, if you see me wake up in the middle of the night, then you know something's gone like terribly wrong. Usually because I drank too much water or something like that, like I hydrated too well. Everyone's good at sleep. Not everybody. Not everybody. Some people are bad at sleep. Seeing your dreams, you got the 100% mount drop. Keep down. Every time I sleep, I'm writing ashes. I'm writing ashes, and I'm like wielding Frostmourne. It's pretty great. No, I'm wielding Warglaives. Let's be honest. Warglaives for sure. So outside, it's almost 12 a.m. That's true. It is. It is pretty late for both of us, actually. You know what they say? Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. So make sure you get all your mount drops beforehand. All right. We got to do 25 raids, 25 man raids. So the raid normal 25. Okay, cool. Thank you for hopping in, though. I appreciate it, though. You should stay. Like, you should stay forever. No,
My patience has reached its limit. I will be
speaking of which, speaking of which, if everyone is staying, wouldn't it be crazy if Twitch subscribers and YouTube subscribes turned into 100% mount drops? I think that's the case.
You reckless, careless mortals who are to blame for this war. I do what I must, and if it means your extinction,
I think I heard they said that was gonna happen. Whoa, I am no one's mount. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. It's not what I said. It's trust. What I meant was, what if Twitch subs turned into 100% mount drop from this boss right here? Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy? What if I could mount deep down? Hold on. It's not what I said. Not what I said. By the way, I'm trying Twitch stories to see if it like helps. Let me know if I'm being stupid for doing that.
now your benefactors make their appearance, but
Hello?
they are too
Hello?
late. The powers contained here are sufficient to destroy the world 10 times over.
Over.
What do you think they will do to you? Unthinkable!
Unthinkable.
The will destroy everything.
Everything.
My sister.
This dragon got a lot of hit. Yeah, they just got a lot of yapping. What's up, girl? What's up, Alexstrasza? How you doing?
And so ends the Nexus War. This resolution pains me deeply, but the destruction, the monumental loss.
It's gonna cost you. I'm invincible still, so I mean we can work something out. You know what I did that pissed me off deep down? I did a whole Ice Crown Citadel, a whole Ice Crown, and I didn't do it on heroic. You know how upset I was? I was so upset. I was so upset. Oh. Rookie mistake, am I right? Locked out of character. I was like, and the thing is, I did a whole run. And the thing is, I didn't even notice after the run. I didn't even notice after the next 2 runs that I did, like for other mounts. I noticed after the 3rd run, I was like, wait, why does this still say not killed? I was tweaking. It was bad. What's your goals with this channel? What do you think about making the channel? So, for those of you who haven't hung out here, don't know another channel or anything like that, that's totally fine. We do a couple things on this channel. We do sort of like if you'd imagine like a Reddit recap. So we do like a Reddit review. If I had my own Reddit community, it would be my own Reddit community. But as I'm building my own, or as I'm building that, or if I ever get the chance to build that, what I'm doing is like I'll go on like WoW subreddits, I'll go on things like Wowhead, I'll go on news sources, and I'll compile discussion, like a discussion, a talking point with like comments and stuff like that. And basically we'll talk about points of WoW and ways to solutions for the biggest problems that are happening in the community. That's what we do there. We do a podcast as well where we talk about WoW. Either current topics, controversial topics, that type of stuff, drama, etc. So there's a podcast that I do. And there's sometimes events, like for example, this Sunday we're doing a WoW Makara. We're gonna shoutcast for a WoW Makara, so in hardcore WoW. So we're gonna be shoutcasting, I believe, with one other person. A TikTok streamer who's doing it. And then the 1st of August, I haven't announced this yet, but on the 1st of August, we're doing a stream for Air Force Gaming. We're going to be streaming on their channel. And we're going to be playing some WoW there. Sometimes we do WoW content in other spaces, but that's what we mainly do with this channel. I do other content, but right now that's what I'm doing right now. Go to sleep? Nah, I'm good. That's a little bit much, Makram. Chill. They had to wait 5 weeks. I did wait 5 weeks. I didn't do the skip. There was people who were doing the skip. I'll explain the skip in short. The skip was that basically what you had to do was you had to get the buff, this buff right here, the Master of the Time Ways, but you would do additional runs. If somebody else in your group got Mastery of the Time Ways, you could trick it into giving you the thing sooner, the achievement sooner. I didn't do it that way. I just did Mastery of the Time Ways. Now, sometimes when you're doing time walking, if you did the raid that was associated with it, so for like Burning Crusade time walking, it was Black Temple. If you did that, you could get it, instead of having to do like, was it 5 runs? You could do less runs. I didn't get any of those benefits. I had to do 5 weeks of getting the buff by just playing tank. That's how I got this beautiful mount. Actually, you know what I haven't checked? I haven't checked this real quick. Hold on. Yep, and then okay. Pretty standard dragon mount special. Not too bad. All right. Utgard, it's heroic is what it needs to be. So heroic, yep, it's there. I wait till I see the skull. We're good. That's how I got it, but not on purpose. Yeah, no, like people were telling me, like, basically, like, yeah, just do groups and then find somebody, or just do groups until you find somebody who still needs to do it. And I was like, or still hasn't had the buff completed. And I was like, oh. And then every time I would do extra groups, they would never give me, I would never get it. Everyone I was grouping with, like, it's not like I could see if they had the buff or not or anything like that. So yeah, no, I had to do all 5 weeks. One thing I do need to do is Dastardly Duos. I haven't gotten the mount for that. I totally skipped out on that.
I have done as you asked, and now
Cause it's like,
for your blessing.
oh, hold on. I totally forgot to put on my speed set too.
Is a testament to your obedience. Indeed, you are worthy of this charge.
It's not really a speed set. It's got a little bit of speed. What I want from WoW is to be able to use my pets auto loot for me. My pet's too auto loot. Just having a reason to have a pet out. To be honest, I would support that 100%. Also, like if pets could retrieve like profession material, like they say like skinning stuff, or like random ores and stuff like that, that'd be kind of cool too.
Dare intrude here.
I will be
My brothers,
happy to
a feast
slaughter
for the
them
one
in
that
your
brings me their
name.
heads.
Come, enemies of the
You know what would get me into battle pets too? If they made it to where battle pets, like say for like if you have a battle pet for a rogue and you use it, they would auto pickpocket your enemies. Maybe on a cooldown or something like that, but that'd be super cool. I would use pets more often if that was the case. I feel like I never use pets nowadays because there's like no reason. I just don't do battle pets, you know. Yeah, but make it the high part of the profession tree so people don't complain right away. Yeah, like definitely make it to where it's usable and then it improves over time as time goes on, as opposed to it unlocks. Like something I don't like about the journals for like mining, for example, is like the mounted one, the one where you can do mounted mining, comes at the very end. So it's like, damn, I don't get any benefits until then. Like you do get benefits. That's a lie. But like, for example, I think it's the only one I think I have maxed out. It's this one right here. This one just says vigor, +10 skill, subspecialization, perception. Like these are nothing stats. Like these don't do anything for me. You know what I mean? To me, the professions trees got interesting when they updated them, and then they made them boring again. I think that's something that, like, I could honestly make a full video on it. But I think one of the biggest issues about, like, WoW and Blizzard right now is they'll make something fun and revamp it, and then they'll make it boring again with that new system. Or they'll make it too complex and hard to understand. I miss simple wolf crafting. I miss simple wolf crafting too. Yes, it was hard to get certain materials. Yes, people monopolized them, but at least things were like high ticket items and they were valuable. Now you just make them yourself and you do them for nothing. It's like what? So like, yeah, there's a benefit of like being able to make stuff yourself whenever you're missing gear pieces. That's the problem that they created literally, because the vault system doesn't give you enough gear. And the gears, there's BIS lists and metas, And so often people don't want to just get a piece of gear and upgrade it when it's not the best piece, when it's not Abyss. I'm gonna do Invincible last. Let's do Ulduar. Let me Google this real quick. Is there a Ulduar Yogg skip? Oh, it says rogue only.
It's happened.
Oh, so there's an anti-chamber skip? Okay. Or that you can just do anti-chamber first thing, like you don't have to do the first few bosses, maybe? Yeah, like honestly, like Mogushin vaults. Where you can talk to a Lord Walker Cho, I think it is, for Mogushin vaults. Make it that. You know? Make it that. You know what I would appreciate? I would appreciate if they made it to where all like hard mode and stuff like that you like, if you say like you're farming achievements or shit like that. I think it'd be nice if they could make it to where you could still queue for those, but like in a time walking sense, like where it's scaled. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like Blizzard has been rehashing like old content anyways. Ooh, let's see. Is the dragon here, guys? Is the dragon here? The time lost proto Drake? I doubt it. Like there's no chance, right? No shot, right? I actually, for a while I was farming, like I was legit farming this. Makram, I'm fine, my guy. I don't know what you're flipping out, but I'm totally fine. Don't stress it. You're getting a little overzealous. Otherwise, so long, let's skip over those point. Or just simple portal, you click on the boss and a boss room. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like make it to where like there's an expedited version. Like, there's no purpose for me to be doing trash and stuff like that. All right, we did 2 circles. That's enough. See you, Makram. Let's see if the teleporter still allows us to go forward. It could just be an old thing. Who knows? All right, let's doubly make sure. Normal raids. Raid normal. All right, we go. I thought you have to do the intro. Yeah, see, mine's not active. What the hell? Activate secondary defensive systems. Oh, do you not have to
Inquiring minds just got to know.
use a vehicle? Well, I'll use the motorcycle. I'll use the motorcycle at least. Go a little faster.
Okay, let's move out. Get into your machines. I'll speak to you from here via the radio.
Do you have any prestigious mounts deep down? Any big mounts going for you? I got Ash's first week. Damn. That's crazy.
The Iron Dwarves have been seen emerging from the bunkers at the base of the pillars straight ahead of you. Destroy the bunkers, and they'll be forced to fall back. You've done it! You've broken the defenses of Ulduar. In a few moments, we'll be dropping into... What's that?
What's that?
Something's headed your way! Quickly! Evasive action! Evasive action!
Hostile total detected failure. Assessment protocol active. 3 primary target engaged. -36.
You gotta kill this group. Isn't that crazy? Like that's been one thing I have noticed is semi regular in this game is that you have to, in some cases, or in a lot of cases, you have to kill like a certain group before it'll activate, or like you have to like do a certain thing before like a certain boss will activate. It's been wild. Oh, I'm already equipping my speed set. And I'm dumb. I gotta take it easy. Hold on, we're gonna eat this speed buff food. And then we're gonna take this speed buff potion. And then let's sell. You know what else is funny? I just started using void storage because of all these like items I'm getting, all these like reagents I'm getting and stuff like that. And now they're making it to where like they're reducing the size of it based off of like the max number of tabs that that particular character has. And it's I'm like I didn't even know I didn't even use this feature, and now I can't even get the full feature of it. It's crazy. I've gotten some of the mounts, but missing a bunch. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gotten a few. Like, I've made sure to favorite them. I got the Corsa Cartel, a Gear Glider. I got the Chronocourser, Firehawk, Sage Serpent. These are just all of the Horrific Visions ones. So I've gotten a couple, but definitely not as many as I would like. Oh yeah, I got Rivendell's too, Death Charger. That was one of the first ones I got. I made sure to get. All right, antechamber. Ooh, I am excited to do Firelands today too, because I mean I'm done with Firelands, so. Still planning to play catch up on reps with. Oh, me too, brother. I still got like a bunch that I don't even have, like over 15. So yeah, I'm no better. I believe I have to kill all of these bosses in this room, right? In order to get to the end. I think you have to kill all these guys. They have the rep bonus grinds right now, and I'm like, guys, chill. Yeah, like honestly, I hate, like, to be honest, I think Blizzard is kind of like they've done themselves a disservice, because it is painful to do rep grinds without rep bonuses. It is painful to do XP grinds without XP bonuses. And I can't be bothered to like hold on to a bunch of like XP potions and stuff like that too. So it's like, to be honest, like I think they just need to revamp it. Like if you need a buff to where like stuff becomes like reasonable to do only when you have the buff, then it's like, man, you gotta change this. Let's see, experience gain increases by 20%, 10 through 80. Dragonflight reputation gains 200. War Within is 100%. Quests in the Dragon Isles and Khazalgar leveling have a chance to award mysterious satchels. So, Mysterious Fortune is what it's called. %100% bonus all times. Maybe, but at the same time, I think what does better for longevity of a game is instead make quests, add little classic world quests for level 80s. And some small group content that scales for people so they can get like big reputation farms. I don't care if it gives you like, if it takes you from neutral to honored in one go. I think to me it's more important that you make it to where people are doing that old world content and getting something enjoyable out of it. It takes nothing. It would take nothing. Say you made old world bosses, like Kazakh. Like say you took old world bosses and you made it to where that gives you reputation for something. Like, who cares? Man, dude took a hit. Good to know the rep bonus doesn't end until August 12th. Plenty of time to focus more on mounts and farm rep. I can do mounts. Yeah. By the way, this is the exact stuff I made the video on for anybody watching today. In the pinned comment, I have a link to my YouTube. But if you haven't checked out my YouTube, I do WoW videos discussing this kind of stuff all the time. And what it was kind of on this FOMO, where it's like you're constantly farming this stuff that you kind of build this like sense of paranoia in your player base that they're gonna miss out on something, because if they don't start farming mounts and stuff like that, then you may never get those mounts because the bonus you get is like insane. Like a 5% mount drop is insane. But a lot of these are less than 1% and take people hundreds of runs sometimes. So it's like you build this level of like FOMO in your player base. So you end up having to make your events either constant or like rotating to like where like hey, even if you don't want to do this, there's another good event coming along and it's gonna be okay. So like you have to like constantly like reassure your player base that everything's gonna be all right. Well, 100%, I agree. I'm glad they do stuff like this, like overall. But I think there's a better way as a company to design it to where your player base doesn't get so burnt out. I think they could have made this event better by simply allowing players to go, okay, I'm getting bonuses from these. Now, how about you give me like a series of quests? There's like what? 20 or so mounts that you can get from the from the event. There's not like a ton, but like make a quest line that for people who are just doing the content for mounts, to where they can get like a brief summary of what went down. That way, if they want to experience like the cinematic, like the cinematics or like the storyline, they can get a brief overview for your lore people who enjoy story. Or second, for people who are doing it for rep grinds, like secondarily for like transmog, etc. Give them an opportunity to earn rep, like just bonus rep. I think there's ways to integrate that old content to where you're not updating the old content. You're not making to where it's more adventurers gear or veterans gear and shit like that. You're just making it to where, hey, I can do this old content, and by doing this old content, I get bits of nostalgia and I can kind of like experience it again. And it's not just me breezing through it and no brain cells, just mount. Well, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I just, to me, I think it could do more. It could do more than what it's currently doing. Do better, Blizzard. Do better, Blizzard. Do. Press the button. Do. My back is itchy and I have nothing to itch it on. That is extremely sad. I'm gonna use this chip clip. It's like the center of my back too. Ugh. You stand on that, do you die?
Behold, the VX-001 anti-personnel assault cannon. You might want to
This
take
area
cover.
will self-destruct in 9 minutes.
Thank you, friends. Your efforts have yielded some fantastic data. Now, where did I put... Oh, there it is. Isn't it beautiful? I call it the Magnificent Aerial Command Unit.
The Maku.
Preliminary testing phase complete. Now comes the true
Transformers, more than meets the eye. This fire is like moving. Like, stop.
This area will self-destruct
Gaze
in 8
upon its
minutes.
magnificence. Bask in its glorious glory. I present you with the 07
Self-destruct
TRON.
sequence terminated. Override code A905.
Okay.
It would appear that I made a slight miscalculation. I allowed my mind to be corrupted by that fiend in the prison, overriding my primary directive. All systems seem to be
Shattered walkway, I think. right, chat. Here we go. I need everyone max believers, okay? Max believers, okay? Max believers and max primes, okay? So if you got primes, now's the time. All right. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Everybody, raise your hands if you believe. I will defeat you.
The time to strike at the head of the beast will soon be upon us. Focus your anger and hatred on his minions.
Minions. Minions.
Yes. Show
Bye-bye.
them no mercy. Give no pause to your attacks. Let hatred and rage guide your blows.
Come on, baby. Ooh, mine. Come on, let's go. Let's fight. Let's battle. What up, you dukes?
Yes, yes. Show them no mercy. Give no pause to your attacks.
You're giving a lot of pause because you're taking a long time.
Rage guide your blows.
Yeet. Next.
I am a lucid dream.
All right.
The monster in your nightmares.
Thousand faces.
Woo!
Cower before my true form. Bow down before the god of death. Madness will consume you.
All right, portals open, chat.
Tremble, mortals, before the coming of the end.
Dragon soul forever.
That terrible glow. Should that be?
Where there is life, there is hope.
For it to be as it must, yes.
It is a weapon like no other. It must be like no.
They are my brood no longer.
His brood learned their lesson before too long. You will soon learn yours.
Ooh, menacing. Skirt. Come on. Fight me. Fight me. Don't be scared. Stop. I'll keep on throwing this at you. You don't realize.
Mortals before the coming of the end.
No. Stop putting tentacles at me.
Madness will consume you.
Bad news, sire.
Skirt. 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 Skirt.
The clans are united. united under Black Hand in this assault. They will stand together until Stormwind has fallen. Gul'dan
Oh, that's
is
right. I
bringing
don't know
up
why
his
I
war
just left the
by
first time. You're supposed to attack.
Of the true face of death. Know that your end comes. Your fate is sealed. The end of days is finally upon you, and all who inhabit this miserable little seedling.
Okay.
The Orc leaders agree with your assessment.
Zit jet.
Petty quarrels only make me stronger.
We kneel. I got so excited. I heard the noises. I heard the noises and I got excited. It went and I have been deceived. I've been betrayed. Okay, heroic. Okay. 25. Heroic 25. It's set. We're gonna check one more time though, just before we go in, okay? Not taking any chances. No chances at all. All right. Ready. Ready. I'm not goofing around.
This is our final stand. What happens here will echo through the ages. Regardless of outcome, they will know that we fought with honor.
We're gonna go fast.
We fought for the freedom and safety of our people. Remember, heroes, fear is your greatest enemy in these befouled halls.
This is the
Steel
beginning.
your heart,
And
and your
the
soul shall light under 1,000 suns.
Will walk
The enemy will falter at the sight of you.
as
Fall
a
as the light of righteousness envelops them.
Need everyone chanting invincible, invincible, invincible. Oh, dude survived it. Strong. I gotta be careful with doing that too. I realized that oh, long combat. I realized too that I don't know what I was saying. Lost it. Oh my god, what am I in combat with? Okay, dead, dead, dead. And now I feel like the one who's genociding of people. And it's just, I feel bad for them. It is like they can say, but they didn't do nothing. All right, now I'm out of combat. I don't know why that took so long. Rampart of Skulls. Okay. Now we go on the zipline. The Palin. Okay. All right.
What in the world is that? Grab me some
Dragons.
buy me own beer. Horde sailing in fast and hot.
You have a spyglass on you?
Evasive action! Man the guns! Cowardly dogs! You blindsided us!
We're taking hull damage. Get a battle. This is not your battle, dwarf.
What the hell?
What's
It like
this then?
yeeted me out of
You want
there.
me battle? I don't know who you think you are, mister. But I got a score to settle with Arthas. And you're not getting in me way. Fire all guns! Fire! Fire!
Fire. Fire. Doesn't seem like you're firing very much. Seems kind of quiet. Oh. Where you going, brother? Oh, there wasn't anything else?
Hey there.
And we're ready. Oh. Second menu, wasn't expecting that.
Let's get a move on then.
God, I'm yawning up a storm. power that the Lich King has bestowed upon me. Zug zug. Can we go? Man, he was just taking his sweet time. Okay.
That was Sourfang's boy, the Horde commander at the Wrath Gate. Such a tragic end. What in the? There in the distance.
Well, hopefully you're not Charlie how many don't kill here because you gonna die.
No! You killed soldiers! Fall in! Looks like the Horde are coming to take another shot. Don't force me hand, Orc. We can't let you pass.
Cannot turn it on?
Fun time!
Oh, it's after.
Behind you lies the body of my only son.
Just an
Nothing will
ordinary
keep me
gas
from him.
cloud. But watch out, because that's no ordinary gas cloud.
Okay.
Get back on your ship and we'll spare your life.
What? Precious?
Stand down, Muradin. Let a grieving father pass.
Oh, Vesterga, you were always my favorite. Next to
Whoa.
the good news is that
Calling
you
out
left behind
favorites.
so much gas, I can practically taste it.
Oh no, not the bugs.
No co kills Ilnok, Atar.
There, now they can't spread, they're dead. Shush, 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 shush. There it is.
I will not forget everyone. Kindness. I don't think I'm going to thank you, Highness.
I was not at the Wrathgate, but the soldiers who survived told me much of what happened. Your son fought with honor. He died a hero's death.
I got both of them.
He deserves a
I miss
hero's
him?
burial.
Ooh, I'm big.
Jaina, why are you crying?
Yep, one of you guys. Yep,
It was nothing, Your Majesty. Just... I'm proud of my king.
Okay.
Muradin,
Here.
secure the deck and prepare our soldiers for an assault on the upper citadel. I'll send out another regiment from Stormwind.
Right away, Your Majesty.
Right away, Your Majesty. Oh, I got light breath. A little companion. Okay.
Ready to work. What is it?
Okay, done.
Mortals. You
Dun dun
thought
dun
us
dun dun dun
defeated
dun.
so easily. The Sand Lane are the Lich King's immortal soldiers. Now, you shall face their might combined.
Bye bye.
Rise up, brothers, and destroy our enemies!
Come on.
Naxanar was merely a setback. With the power of the
My queen, they come.
Okay. Oh, I am being followed.
You have made an unwise getting along decision. So,
Break that floor down for me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh. I have to kill these guys in order to get it? Oh, it just happens here. I could swear this one breaks open or something. Okay. Okay.
Ready your arms, my argent brothers.
And your
My
legs.
crew will protect the Frost Queen with their lives.
Even dying here beats spending another day.
miserable creatures, die!
Please. Burn my remains.
Hurry! Before that Valkyrie picks us off!
In the afterlife. The reinforcements will arrive shortly. We must bring her down quickly.
Foolish Croc. You brought my reinforcements with you. Arise, Argent champions, and serve the Lich King in death.
No!
See you later.
Scourgebane. I'll show the master which of us is truly worthy of the title of champion.
Intruders have breached the inner sanctum. Hasten the destruction of the Green Dragon. Leave only bones and sinew for the reanimation. I'll remain and inform Tyrion of our progress.
Heroes, lend me your aid. I cannot hold them off much longer. You must heal my wounds.
The wounds.
No done much amount of healing can save me now. Fight on, brothers.
The loss of our comrades was unpreventable. They lived and died in the service of the Argent Crusade.
It was a worthy afterlife.
Yay. And jump. Nice. All right. Come at me, bro. Where you at?
Must not approach the frost. Quickly, stop them.
Sounds like a gnome. Big spider. Big spider. Big spider. Big spider. Big spider. Oh, it's open. I'm gone. And we're clear. Ooh. Come hither. Come hither.
You are fools who have come to this place! The icy winds of Northrend will consume your souls!
Okay, lady. Oh. Two. There we go.
So, the light's vaunted justice has finally arrived. Shall I lay down Frostmourne and throw myself at your mercy, Fordring?
We'll grant you a swift death, Arthas. More than can be said for the thousands you've tortured and slain.
Yeah, you tell him, Tyrion.
You'll learn of that firsthand. When my work is complete, you will beg for mercy, and I will deny you.
Whoa.
Your anguished cries will be testament to my unbridled power.
So be it. Champions, attack!
Let's go. Oh damn. Oh damn.
To witness the end, Fordring. I would not want the... No questions remain unanswered. No doubts linger. You are Azeroth's greatest champions. You overcame every challenge I laid before you. My
He's okay.
servants have fallen before your relentless onslaught.
Moan.
Your unbridled
We get it, buddy.
Is it truly righteousness that drives you? I wonder. You trained them well, Fordring. You delivered the greatest fighting force this world has ever known.
Okay.
Right into my
Yeah, I'm fading. I'm fading.
For your unwitting sacrifice.
Bam, bam.
Watch now as I raise them from
Doesn't help that these speeches as well. Yo, there's so many times I hear them.
this world in chaos and destruction. Azeroth's fall will come at their hands.
Petition to give Mountain Blizzard to give you a mountain to help you sleep. Yeah. I think even if I had pull at Blizzard, they'd still be like, go fuck yourself.
Light, grant me one final blessing. Give me the strength to shatter these bonds.
Come on, Tyrion, break out. Now's the time. I believe in you, brother. I think I passed out like 3 times during that fight.
No more lives will be consumed by your hatred.
Fine. It's fine. Let's do Stone Core. Stone Core has got to be. I just waited for the speech in the Battle of the Czar lore. They need to let us skip the heartbeat talk and legacy raids. True. True. We were just talking earlier about doing like a lore walker cho like with Mogoshin vaults. Just let us just do like a lore, like just skip it, set it and forget it. Or is it Siege of Orgrimmar? Siege of Org, yeah. Where are we going again? I totally forgot. Stone Core, yeah, let's do Stone Core. Like it doesn't add anything. Yeah, sure, do a lore full version where someone could do a solo version of a raid. And it's like semi-challenging. Like Delves semi-challenging, you know, easy enough to do. And someone can like run through it and get like a little bit of a challenge for like the solo and like whatnot. But otherwise, like whatever. Like it's not that deep. Let us do the run, you know. Alright, Deep Home, where you at? Deep Home. I want a spiky dragon, so let's do it. Okay. I think you can run this on normal, right? Yeah, normal. So this. All right, here we go. I got Onyxia mount first try after the event started, and I was in there on accident because I was looking at my friend's simple army instead of mine. I got it years ago. No. So you saw basically the what was it? The already learned. That's got to be devastating. I'm sorry. Already learned is like the most devastating thing you could probably see as a mount collector. Cause you're like, I got that luck and I wasted it. I wasted it. It's gone. Dee. Definitely been there. Been there. Except for the way that I wasted time is I accidentally did the wrong version and I was locked out. So, I was like, man, could we not, you know? All right, this is it. Mount drop time. Who am I in combat with? Who and where? Why are you doing this to me? Huh, Blizzard? Is this the rub it in my face? Who is it? I hate it when certain mobs just don't follow you. Yeah, but I've gotten a few mounts now in the event. My biggest issue with this event is that it's all in the middle of summer. I only have about one and a half day before I leave for Spain for 2 weeks. Spain is great. I've been to Spain. Spain is awesome. I think it's because I killed this group and I killed some of them, but not all of them. And then they phased out, is my guess. I'm getting some misses on me, I think. No, we're good. Okay, never mind. I would say my gripe with it isn't necessarily like isn't necessarily the like, oh, now it's getting easy for everyone to get mounts. I think it's becoming ever more like aware, like awareness of this, where instead of just giving people a buff, WoW could do a lot to revitalize their old content in fun ways. Specifically with these events, like, hey, like you're doing mount collector's buff, here you go. Why not make it to where people can do this content and maybe get glimpses of the story, or get interesting items or recolors of old items specifically from those dungeons, or add a little bit something into it to where, oh yeah, you can do time walking specifically for these ones. So like you're naturally doing the runs while also doing leveling or something like that. I feel like they kind of, a good event like this could have been better, I guess, is my thing. And I know a lot of people would be like, well, you're never happy. I'm like, no, I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with it. It's just at the same time, I think there's a lot of people, including myself, who go, if you're gonna go like, hey, do old content, like do something with that old content, you know? Wish I could dye my gear and mounts like on Guild Wars 2 instead of having to get recolors. Exactly, like wait for like a trader's post recolor to come out, or the worst version, which is a store mount recolor, or a transmog that looks like insanely better graphical fidelity. That's unfortunate. But not even recolors necessarily, but like if I'm doing a Black Temple raid to try to get Warglaves, give me like a brief summary when I run through it, and kind of give me like quests that were like, if I were to read them, or like cinematics, or even just voice lines, to where like Lore Walker Cho is just telling me about it as we go through it. Make that an option. That, or give me a skip and just say, just allow me to skip it, so I'm gonna hear nothing about it. Take me straight to the boss. Thanks, champ. You know, like that's all I need, Blizzard. Let's not be so stress inducing, you know? Boom. By the way, for those of you watching, we did just make a video talking about something similar, and that is FOMO. A little bit about collector's buff, but also other things in WoW. So if you ever gotten the feeling that WoW has too much FOMO, or it causes a lot of burnout, then go check out my video. It's on my YouTube page, ShawnSetGO, and you can see it there. We just put it out. Give it a like, give it a sub, help it hit the algorithm gods. and bless me. And I keep on getting these same exact items too. Ooh. It's always something that's like bugged and in combat. It's so frustrating. Oh, this time it's somebody. Oh, it's more than just somebody. It's a lout. All right, we good? No, rock people. All right, we good? We're good. So difficult to make cool looking transmog because of the mismatch in color variants over the years. Make the players farm these sets and unlock colors and then add more colors to unlock. Yeah, I imagine with housing, as they start to dabble in having things be different colors, they might change that to where there might be a dye system. I have a feeling though, when they do, the issue will be still, I think that there'll still be issues. For example, graphical fidelity, sometimes like the gear just looks like it has like 2 pixels, you know, like there really isn't a lot of like detail there. 2, clipping will always be a problem. They'll only do transmog on like the 2 most common races and then no others, so a lot get kind of missed from it. And then 3, so yeah, graphics, races, and then graphics, races. There's something else. Sure. Paladin artifact shield has negative pixels. The druid in MS Paint. There's a lot of times that I want to give transmog the benefit of the doubt. Like, I think there's a lot of transmog that has improved, and I think Trader's Post does a lot to where I don't think you ever need to do like store stuff, whether that's store mounts or store transmog. But there's times where I'm like, this would be cool. I would love this if it was geared towards just looking cool and dark and badass. Stop making everything look fluffy and pink. Like make it look cool, because I would like this, you know, if it would, because it's extremely good graphical fidelity. But I am frustrated that the things that look the best are the things you buy. So it's like, I know you have the capability of doing this right, Blizzard, I say. I'm yelling at them. I'm angry at them. And like another gripe I have, the amount of mounts that are released where they don't include a mount special. Like, what, bro? What do you mean? What do you mean you don't have a mount special? That's like standard. They're not letting us work towards the... What do you mean? So do you mean with the amount of traders tender you get? Like how it maxes out? Is that what you mean? But then there's a bunch of stuff that it may not come back into the rotation for a while. The fact that they're a bot makes them lose any value they could have. In my opinion, they don't respect cosmetics that people just swipe to get. I understand that. I totally get that. I've never bought anything off the store. I've never bought anything off the store, so it's not like I'm the market for that. And I'm okay with cosmetics being paid. I mean, it's as long as it's not pay to win, you know. I think still though, too many things in the game are pay to win outside of that, but that's another conversation. I think the biggest issue is that there's priority put it with it.
I'm just here with me block. A rope. And another rope over here. I'm tying up me trampoline.
Foxy boy, what's up? Thank you for the follow and joining the Chill Chatter crew. I appreciate you. Watch us get this mount. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be bonkers. How you doing today, Foxy? Foxy Cleopatra. Guild Wars 2 has a similar system. You can earn X amount each week, and there are new things each season. When the season ends, they get put into the Legacy tab where you can buy them for 20% higher currency. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have that. I love FOMO when it's done properly. When I really wish Collector's Bounty was in a system and not in events. Yeah. I could see that being a better version of things. I think where there's a lot of disconnect for people with the Collector's Bounty is like, one, you're in a group of people who don't get any benefit from it because you're not interested in that content, or two, doing that content and doing like old world stuff takes you too much out of what you're currently doing because you worry that when it ends that you'll never get a chance to do it again. So it builds up that FOMO. And so I think that when it comes to old world content right now, I think Blizzard has a wrong way of looking at it, where I think they only see value in it as like, yeah, it's something for players to burn time. And to me, that's just such a small way of looking at it. I'm pretty sure I can't do this instance again. Pretty sure I've done it too many times. Oh, no way. Okay. I think the cool things of I once again, I made a video on this recently and it was comparing WoW with RuneScape. I think something that RuneScape does well is they do really good like high ticket prestigious achievements, like challenges that only a few people do, you know, like with their Iron Man challenges, some of the gear sets that you can get that are prestigious to only a few people who have put in the time and the effort. And now granted, a lot of stuff in RuneScape is very grindy, but at the same time, WoW has many facets of the game that people could earn very prestigious items, and people would be like, wow, that's a really crazy item to have. You must have put in a lot of effort. You don't have to put FOMO in it to make it a prestigious item that people feel like it's worth getting. If the only value in something is that it is fleeting and that it'll go away at a certain point, so you gotta get it now, to me, that's a bad use of FOMO. FOMO should always be, I'm going to miss out on the experience. Like getting the chance to do ICC when it first came out was an experience. Getting an opportunity to do Black Temple when it was current content was an experience. Doing Molten Core when it was the content was an experience. But they've adjusted. Oh, so you said with Guild Wars 2, they've adjusted the prices towards always being able to get the cosmetics if you do weeklies for a few weeks. Yeah. I think the time walking way of getting stuff isn't too bad because it's always like on a rotation, so you're bound to get it. I'm just not a big fan of like, there's only so many things you can do, like grind time walking dungeons, which can be a slog, which just feels like you're just carrying people who make like 1,000 alts. And doesn't really create any community benefits. Like that's my problem with it. And then as well as like sometimes whenever you're doing that stuff, it feels like there's truly is no benefit for you unless you're just interested in mogs or mounts. I think some people would like to do it and get something out of it more. I love FOMO when it's done properly, but I really wish Collector's Bounty was a system and not an event. You have to do it now because like the idea that you have to do it now, 5 hours worth of farming, 1 hour right now. Now they're forcing value to play now. If you do not play now, you're wasting more time in the future. Exactly. Monolithin. Exactly. Exactly, and how they came out with a statement for Legion Remix not giving access to Mage Tower artifact weapons, stating it's to keep prestige, but then they add a mount from AOTC. Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I said in my video that I just put out, because I was just like, it's crazy. It's topical. Because I think that there used to be a version of WoW, or we used to consider WoW, if someone was walking around with something of that, like of that era, like even if it was the Scarlet Armor set, you would look at it and go, that's crazy. Even if it was like the Whirlwind Axe, you're like, that's crazy. That's awesome. You got the Whirlwind Axe and you like, you got it at like level 30. That's crazy. But I feel like WoW really doesn't do that anymore. The gear doesn't really hold a whole lot of importance. Like maybe if it looks together good in a set, sure. But outside of that, I don't think that people really care. Let's do Onyxia. I think I go up to here, right? I go wetlands, right? Prestige should come from it being challenging, not that it were, not that you were there at the time it was available. Yeah. So I think what it starts to feel like at a certain point, is that you're contributing just to a pile. Like, when you're, say you get like a bunch of mounts from Trading Post every month, say every event you do gives you a mount, say every event has some form of, wait, is this the right place? I think it is. Okay. Everything you do outside of the norm contributes to a mount. So that's the case. Eventually, it just starts to feel like, say you're on the opposite side of FOMO, you do all the events, so you get zero FOMO because you're doing it all always. Like you're like I'm not worried about it because I'm always contributing my time towards it. You get to this point where when you're doing content, you're just contributing to the pile. Say you're someone who has like 1,000+ mounts. At a point, like, do you feel like any value out of like having a mount? Like, it's gotta feel somewhat not good. Or like not as good. You get like drip drops. Like the serotonin you get is just gone. Nothing wrong with something being challenging and FOMO. I think CM and Mage Tower were good. They pushed a lot of people to improve and point and earn something cool. I think all things in moderation, though, right? I think if you do it once an expansion, it's valuable and you don't have a lot of people who are mad about it. I think if you do it once a season, because we're a seasonal game nowadays, then you might get some people upset because they missed that season. But not a lot. If you do it once per event and there's multiple things you can get in that event, fuck that. You're gonna piss people off. But you really are. Like, it's just kind of the way it is. Alright. Normal raids. Can you do Onyxia in its old version? Is that still a thing? Is there a person you can talk to? Can you still do like the old style Onyxia? Or is that not a thing? I don't see a one of those time characters or whatever. 20-year-old game, we have players that aren't even born and it's that time we came out. That's true. That's true. And I'm not saying that you should give everyone like the stuff that came out during that time. But there are some items of like prestige that you could give people. I would say this was like my solution for some of the FOMO. Give people a chance to earn that stuff with a similar or equal challenge. Oh, in the current expansion. Like, say if it's like a PvP set. Give people a chance to earn that stuff and do it in current PvP. I may want to jump into PvP if it means getting an old set that I never logged in my transmog, you know? Like, that's something to me. Many whelps, handle it! The huge difference between a new player and a hardcore raider is gear is so off-putting as well. There are too many things you need to do to keep relevant if you want to step into the raiding scene. I would say it's easy to step in the raiding scene. In like the high-end Mythic Plus scene, the problem is timing. If you jump in too late, you're gonna miss out. And it's gonna be much harder. So there's a lot of like skewed value in getting it done early. And I think that's unfortunate. It puts a lot of weight on like the front ends of those expansions, and then it becomes a lot harder later in the expansions. Need more proper challenges, not M+, that pushes people to dip into the waters of skill for improvement of cool rewards. The number of times they have done it are so few. Yeah, no, I mean like learning your class's abilities. I mean like the whole thing, like my whole argument against the one button rotation assistant is that truly I think that it doesn't do anything to truly teach people except for in just like muscle reflex. It doesn't give you any situational awareness. It doesn't actually tell you what the abilities do and maybe how you can start to predict what needs to go next, not just rely on something. It just goes like, here, it's probably too hard for you to figure it out. Here it is, stupid. You know, it's like, it really is just like a, like, here's how you can do it without having to think, you idiot. That's what it feels like anyways. FOMO skill challenges that are long-lived expansion length that are good to get people to improve. Yeah, I think that's something that WoW has seemed to have abandoned, is with the implementation of seasonal content. They've kind of implemented this battle pass mentality. Everything kind of feels like a battle pass where you're earning it within a window of time, and then they reset that battle pass, and then you're just going for it again. Each season feels like a battle pass that you're trying to max out. And for different people, it's different spots, but then some people it's like, well, I guess I'm never going to get this because I don't feel like dealing with that. And so I think that there's this mistake where they go, all of the cool parts of an expansion need to come at the beginning, and then right at the end, just before we need to implement a new expansion, so we can have people playing before a new expansion starts, so we can have good numbers, and we can have people playing at the beginning of expansion so we can show that our expansion sold well and did well. And I'm like, that's the fucking opposite of what should be happening. The true retention mechanic of any video game is that there's something big at the end of that line that you really just want to experience. And if you get it, you do, but the FOMO should come from like something you establish yourself, not something the game like puts that cheese at the end of every, you know, the cheese at the there was a better phrase for that. The carrot on the stick, not the trinket. I used to mythic raid. Now I'm not good enough because I have handicaps that make it so M+ is too stressful because of timers and being able to ruin the run for others. I used to do M+ as well, by the way. Yeah, honestly, I would say the big issue with like high-end mythic plus and high-end rating is that it feels so exclusive to everybody. Or it feels so exclusive to a few set of people, but I feel like if Blizzard was going to try to make it more accessible, I feel like they would do it totally wrong. They would either diminish the experience, so where the people who were doing that challenging content felt like it was being diminished, or where if you gave people who had needs to do it, they would feel like they're not earning it, like it was a gimme. Like the way it should always be is that it's like all content is meant to be beaten, and the way it should be beaten is by coordinated effort and all the effort you put beforehand into it to get there. Action on the day of is just like, you just need to perform your role. But nowadays it just seems like you're doing so much all the time that it just feels like everyone's ADHD test extended over a course of like 10 minutes or so. Truly. I really do not see how it's wrong for someone to get mad because they failed to earn something. That should just motivate them more in the future when they want something. I don't see how it's wrong for someone to get mad. Fail to earn something. I think the only time it's reasonable for someone to get mad when they failed to earn something is when they feel like they never had a chance. For example, if something is exclusive to Mythic rating, I'm not going to get upset by that any means. But if something goes, by the way, you can only earn this when doing this content, right? And the only way to do it is by having like I don't know, a coordinated group of a certain amount of people, and I have to run it. Gosh, I gotta run it like at least 3 to 5 times a week over the course of 3 weeks, and then I never get the chance again. I think it's all about pacing and timing. I could find somebody to do like really difficult content if I'm given enough time to do it. But if I do that, that's all I'm gonna have time to do, and that sucks. I feel like people who mythic grade nowadays, that's probably all they do. When I mentioned Mage Tower, it isn't even for myself, it's for my friends. I see cool skins and they get disappointed and discouraged when they hear they can't even earn it. Yeah. And I truly think whenever they're picking items that they allow that you can get when these events come out, and then items you can't get when these events come out, I truly just think they're just going, okay, which ones are the rare ones that people got the most of during this time? Okay, those will. Oh my god! Oh my god! Anyways. All right, I'm gonna read comments so I can focus. I saw the value in theory now. I just think the one button rotate doesn't even help the people that would need help because it's so spammy. Exactly. Your friends need to find something else cool to chase. They should be able to see value, things that other people have earned, even if they can't get them. I think that's something that I agree with. I agree that you should find determination in the things you can get and not dwell in the things you can't get. But I don't think that's innate to everybody. You know what I mean? I think not everybody is gonna be, not everyone's gonna be of that mindset, I think. And so that's easier said than done to tell people to do that. But I definitely get where you're coming from in saying that. Because yes, you're right. I mean, like, I think that's definitely, I'm trying to take a screenshot. All right, there it is. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. All right, what did I get, by the way? Did I get a kite, it said? What did I get that for? The residents of Pandora salute for your enthusiasm, wildlife preservation. They do have concerns about housing 150 animals per visit, though. What is this for? Obtain 150 mounts usable by a single character. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. Hell yeah, I'm gonna catch up on comments here in a second. It would be better to rework the system so that players have time to evaluate Which skill is the best press instead of smashing buttons so fast as possible? Exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, there's a version of it where it just gives you the next available button, and then you can kind of press whatever you want. But I think instead, providing sort of like, because I mean, right now in the game, the way the game used to be is that whenever you leveled, you had time with your abilities, you get new abilities, but only every once in a while, and only certain ones would rank up. And that gave you time to kind of like, okay, I see how my rotation should go. So since you don't have that anymore, since people level so fast and they get so many abilities so fast, then you need to do something to make it to where people have that time and they're given something to do that. So you need to implement something in the game to where people can learn that. Whether that's slow and progressive, whether it's done in just an early Mythic Plus or done in Delves, I don't care. Just put something in the game. It's not necessarily for me. I don't need that right now. Like, that's not something that I need personally, but I think that Blizzard should do that for new players, or players who are trying to learn new classes. That's just be so great. They can't replicate difficulty of the past content either. Just look at Mage Tower. Nothing like they were in Legion and the War Within. They are nothing like they were in Dragonflight. I see what you're saying. I get that we may like basically like you're not gonna be able to recreate it. You know, like at most this was like a flash in the pot. Like they did really well, but there's a lot of things they messed up even in that expansion. How could they recreate it again to make it good? But at the same time, I think that we're also considering that they're just making a Mage Tower every expansion. I'm not saying that these things have to exist in only for only to give people challenges in the current expansion, like basically like gear it for every expansion that it's in. But I'm saying keep things alive instead of making them temporary, so people can still do them in that context. Allow players to play, like for example, the changes that happen say between 7.2 and 7.3 still got you the item. A lot of things still changed. It got a lot easier over time. It was still valuable. I think you can do a version of scaling, a version of doing it in the current expansion where it's like, okay, I'm doing this, I have my current abilities, but everything is scaled to where it's still a challenge. They can test it. They can make it to where, okay, it's either equally as hard or just as much a challenge. Things have been scaled. Maybe some abilities get pulled away during that time. You have to learn what abilities that you're able to use, but they have the capability. They are a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company. They could scale it and make it to where you jumping into that content feels similar or even harder to say give the people who have done it before a new challenge and then still be like, wow, I got insane value from that. And now it's for this current expansion. And now I've gotten something that's valuable for the future. Would they have to tune it and change it every expansion? Yes, but these are the expectations that I have for a company that that takes my $15 every month. And if you did that, I guarantee a lot more people would want to stay subbed. And that's the other thing. I think we think that there's no value to Blizzard. Like, why would they do that? They wouldn't gain value from it. Like, of course they would gain value. Of course they would gain value. People join for that initial expansion prestige. But after hearing about so many of these events, like people get interested and they want to see this stuff happen more often. But at the same time, I do respect your thoughts about it, and I do understand, like, some things should stay, like, hey, this was cool back then. I totally respect that too. But if you are going to bring it back, there's a better way to bring it back. And I do agree, Monolithian as well, that you could just go like, hey, Like, we're just going to do better going forward. But I think they haven't really shown that this expansion that they're doing better with it. It seems like they're up to their same habits. Like when retention is bad, they start doing this a lot. I agree with you to a point, Mono, but these people hadn't started playing the game at that point, and then they came into, instead of seeing cool rewards to work towards, they see that they will never have those items, and should be the carrot on the stick that to get better and get them in the content instead of being a wall that they can never climb. Also, let's talk about the true here, which is I think one of the biggest issues is a lot of the new sets look like trash. So when old content and old mogs and old mounts look and feel better to people than the current stuff, it's like, man, what is your design team thinking? Like, oh, that just looks awful. That's unfortunate. Oh, and Mono, you said that exactly. The problem is not that they missed out on things in the past. The problem is that there are not enough current things to fill the same holes for the current players. Exactly. There's not something currently to fill that void. And that's the big issue that all of us know. That all of us know. We look at it and we go, Horrific Visions doesn't fill the void that I needed for me. So why would it fill the void for a new player? You know? 100% agree with you, Mono. I think they should bring back those old Prestige things as recolors, not originals. I'm okay with that too. Yep. I think they did that for some things too. They've done that in the past. And I think most ideas that we've all mentioned here today, I think have been said. Like, they've been said in some capacity or done in some capacity. They just did it, and then if it worked, they didn't always repeat it. So it was kind of weird. Like, it's like, wait, if it worked, why not just continue to do it that way? So maybe because they got some flack on it. Because I know, like, for example, I think what was it, the TCG mounts? I think they did like iterations of, but then they did it. I think they did it in a way that people didn't like as well. I think it's especially bad when not being able to get the druid forms were available, and I still think the different colored flaming warglaives are the still coolest looking warglaives out there. Yeah, I think that it's unfortunate that only demon hunters I think can do the transmog of the warglaives. Everyone else just have them. Like, I literally have a character that has an offhand warglaive, and I'm like, oh. Okay. it's weird. Feels weird, man. They released the bearskin as a recolor. That is how it should be done. Oh, okay. I think I did some of the different druid forms, but I don't play druid. I don't want to keep people from being able to get cool things. You just need to be careful about stepping on people of the past. Recolors are the safest compromises. Recolors are the safest compromises. I agree. I'm stressing and unpacking. I just got lost from my group. Oh my gosh. I'm stressing and panicking. Okay. The best thing when that is the case, stay in one spot or return to the previous spot you were at and get a hold of somebody. Stay in one place though. That's my recommendation. Or if you're super duper independent, just find somewhere like to chill and eat. That's my recommendation. I would like, if that ever happened to me, I would like find like a diner or a restaurant and just go eat. And they're not answering. Yeah, just stay put. Find somewhere you feel comfortable enough to stay put. But sorry that's happening, Jess. I really am. I really do hope you find a group. I agree, Mono. I mean, I think you need to be careful about stepping on people in the past. But I do think that if you're going to have old systems that people hold in high regard, that when you bring them back, you can't expect people to not to not, I guess, like dredge up those things. Like Blizzard does it to themselves. Like if there was these events that never came out again, sure. But you can't release these events over and over again and go, hey, we're gonna make these events, you're gonna get a bunch of easy items, and then now we're also gonna release an old item but in a new way. Because who's gonna look at your achievements or like your things and go like, oh well, I earned this amount on this date, so it was harder to get back them. You're like, who's gonna do that? That's like that's not even reasonable. Same, if not, I'm going home. Hey, I could do that. I mean, true. True. I just want you to be safe, Jess. Of course, let me know if you make it home safe or what happens. Keep me posted. I don't know, they released a one color variant of a reskin. I have both Druid forms. Feral Druid form is the only one existing that looked anything like it. And that's the other thing too. You bring up a solid point. Because basically there's a lot of people who do transmog, and sometimes like there can be like only one thing that'll fit it, you know, like that brings it all together. Because there is no dye system, there is no like recoloring system. Now, I do think what you're saying could be fixed with a dye system, but until that exists, I agree with that. Mage Towers being FOMO actually made me massively improve at the game, forced me to learn all 36 specs of the game. I did it again last expansion to get all 36 again, and it was a wonderful experience again. I'm gonna be honest, I missed out on Mage Tower entirely. So I've never done any of it. So I've always just been like, I've taken breaks from the game. I've always been outside of the game whenever those things happened. And it sucked because I always heard the news and everyone was always vibing about it. It's one of those things that I definitely had FOMO on, but I was just like, is this enough reason for me to get the game? And I ended up never doing it. Current Mage Towers are horrible though. I went back into them this patch. You can actually just one button them. Oh, that's sad. That's unfortunate. I think it's good to have something in each expansion though that has people truly learn how to play their characters. Scenarios, battles, fights, where you learn how to play your character a little bit better. I think that's important. Also give people room to theory craft and all this mess. You know, learn their talent trees and actually learn how to like break it down a little bit. Learn how to understand it and make their own, you know, instead of just going off of some guide. You can't really use difficulty on its own as a qualifier. Difficulty is relative to the person. I probably put in less effort doing all 36 towers than some of my friends did just trying to get one. Yeah, you can't just use difficulty. Sometimes it's just like thinking it out. But I'd say for the most part, you know, when it comes to making challenging content, you just need to make it to where, like, honestly, I think what you need to do when it comes to terms of challenging content, you're just going like, hey, you're going to do this, like your rotation, but now you're going to do this, so it's going to disrupt that. Or you need to do this, but this is going to disrupt that. Everything else is just health pool numbers. Like you're adding like millions of health, or you're getting hindered, meaning you can't do your rotation so much because you're getting constantly interrupted by ads or circles or damage modifiers or windows and jumps and stuff like that. It gets brutal. Improving is good, and the Mage Tower was that for you is amazing, but we can't expect new players to want to stick around when there is so much FOMO that will never be attainable again in 20 years. Yeah, no, and that's exactly what I was saying. Like I didn't want to join for Mage Tower. I think it was a great thing for the game. That being said, that's only one event in a whole expansion. Mind you, the way the game used to be is like the end game was not only like a challenge to get to because like how much time investment, or I guess not necessarily a challenge, but a time investment, but how much time you spent working on things felt more valuable simply because there were so few of them. So Blizzard went, oh yeah, you're gonna have to spend like at least a month working on this. And so nowadays, when everything's kind of a dime a dozen, I think that it's gonna, no matter what they do, it's gonna create some level of FOMO, because you're just not gonna have enough time in the world to do all that kind of stuff. I think Blizzard in general needs to create a less is more mentality and just kind of take it easy. I think that would be best for a lot of things in the game. Basically quality over quantity, I think, was the biggest thing. I've never played a WoW expansion until War Within where I felt like I have so many mounts. Like I'm getting so many mounts for doing very minimal effort. Or I'm getting so like gear so easy with such minimal effort. Because they've tried to make it accessible, and I put accessible in quotes because it's not truly accessibility. It's just like, it's like gimmies. You don't need to earn everything that existed at one point in a time, but not. They do not need to earn everything that existed at one point in time, but no longer. Any new current things there, they fill a similar role. I feel like I read that already. But yes, but I'll add to that point. And it's like, I don't think anybody's arguing to have everything. I think people are arguing that there's what's the word for it? There's fatigue. You get fatigue with it, and then you see something you want and you're just like, you're exhausted by that point. So I think a lot of people are fatigued. I fully agree with you that Mage Tower, with the Mage Tower, if it wasn't for Druid forms, because Guardian and Fellow Reserves can't express themselves with Transmog, we need more Druid forms available. Yeah, I don't see why not. I'd say that's one of the cooler things they added for Druid. But arguably, I want more forms with Warrior 2. I want different forms for my Warrior. I want Gladiator stance back. I think Mage Tower versions, colors being locked forever is fine. They just need to release recolors. I like the Fellbearer Tower skin more than any of the Legion ones, to be honest. I think instead of recolors, a tiny bit of redesign where the model is different. Maybe people will want the purple or blue vibrant colors. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Maybe instead of just doing like just a raw recolor, go, okay, well the pattern is different, or okay, you can do this, but it's that. The other thing is as well, I feel like what would be better. I mean, this if we're talking about old content, I'm okay with recolors, slight redesigns, right? That way the people who've done it before get something, that way the people who are new get something different, but it's still something. I think with new content though, don't give me new content that has old content. Like I'm frustrated that we're doing seasonal content in Mythic Plus, and we're getting some of the dungeon pools that literally had that were from 2 seasons ago. Like I don't care for that very much at all. And you know the tier set's bad when they release classic tier sets and you see more people in the tier 2 sets than you do actually see people in the actually current expansion, current seasons tier sets in their transmog. It's kind of funny. Give us balanced druid forms as well, please. That actually would be cool. I might actually play a Star Chicken if that's the case. Just kidding. I never play Star Chicken because every time I hear about them, they're almost always nerfed. I don't know. I always get scared. I'm like, let's play Star Chicken, and then I'm like, it gets nerfed into the ground. I saw something that is like the most important class tier list for season 3, and it says it showed Feral on top and like where the S tier would go, and it says cat, and then it showed all the rest of the classes and specs, and it said not a cat, and then it showed the bottom. It says at the bottom it was Boomkid, and it says uninstall. Oh, it was funny. It was quite humorous. One buff Boomkid like bearskin. Yeah, I think something that I've seen recently is a lot of the skins, and the reason why I don't like the season 3 stuff is because it truly looks like it just all of it looks like floaty and fluffy, and it's like, I want it to look badass. I want it to look scary as shit. I want it to look fucking horrifying. They keep on giving me stuff that just like it looks so meager and so like basic. I want to look cool, okay? I want to look edgy. What they should not do is what they did with class hall sets in Legion. It was horrible for everyone. What did they do with class hall sets in Legion? Y'all, I forget, how do I get to Fireland? It's Hyjal, right? I like had a brain fart. All right, it is, let's see. Normal raids. Yeah, normal raids. So raid, normal. Okay. I will say something that's been so great about this event is you see so many people flying around in these old world events. Once again, though, it makes me feel so like it's underwhelmed because they didn't take advantage of it and just go like, maybe they'll use this data and they'll go like, hey, here are the event, the mounts people wanted to get the most or got the most or did the most, and let's do an event surrounding this area or something like that. I just like it's a missed opportunity not to do that, you know? All right, here we go. They should have just made Old Mythic Plus be available for time walking instead of the current system of adding Old Mythic Plus into the new content. Yeah, gosh. I'm not a fan of it. Like, it just feels lazy. I even saw the polls of it and I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen. People are going to pick the Mythic Plus for the one that got the best trinket in. And that's the only reason. And then you're gonna have the Mythic Plus dungeon that everyone was very mixed on because some people really didn't like how buggy it was and some people loved it because it showed off dragon riding or sky riding. So there's going to be a lot of people who want to see that one again. So it's going to be Dawnbreaker. It was going to be Arakara, 100%. Like it's a given. I don't mind the ones that are very like void-esque themed and ethereal-esque themed, you know, I think that's fine. I could live with that, you know. Never been able to go into get into Feral. It always just makes me want to play Rogue instead. Me too. Me too. I've never enjoyed Druid like that. I think it's just I like having like weapons. And I think like having like claws and stuff like that has a good feel to it, I suppose, but I can't get into the class fantasy. It's nothing against druids, I just can't get into class fantasy. Unfortunately. Legion class hall sets were recolors of challenge mode armor, but they are also neutered them with changes like cutting the horns off the warlock set. Aw, that's not cool. No way we get 2 mounts in a day, right? Well, technically we did. So no way we get 3 mounts in a day, right? Here we go. I forget what it looks like. It's not any of these though, I don't think. Damn it. Okay. Let's do Mogushan Vaults and Siege of Orgrimmar. Want to be able to wear high-heeled boots and armor that doesn't look like bulky, and then mind you, I'm a woman though. Mind you, I am a woman though. Give us new designs. Yeah, and I think there's no reason that there's no reason that we can't have totally new designs, I guess is the main thing. I think we've done every version of a like big blocky set. You know, like we gotta expand our horizons a bit into gear. It's just, to me, like the tier sets should be like the coolest looking sets. Not the ones we transmog out of as soon as we can. That's my thing. What they could have done with Legion Remix is announce that they were that their current iterations of the items won't be available, but they will be replacement rewards to hype us up instead of take away and upset. Yeah. I think it's always better to be like, the biggest issue with them announcing ahead of the curve mount becoming available at the same time as saying they didn't want to keep Prestige and gatekeep the Mage Tower rewards. Yeah, definitely a poor timing on their PR person's behalf. Wouldn't be the first time though, so is what it is though, you know. A big whoopsie doodles, you know, as it were. A big my bad, you know. I suppose. Hmm. I've been doing this this sort of like eating healthier plan where basically I don't eat till about noon, and when I go to bed I have to go to bed hungry. So like I won't eat anything at all, and I typically stay up late. So my main meal is like a lunch, and I gotta say, it fucking sucks. it sucks so much. Mythic raids. Alright, raid difficulty, mythic. But it's better for me because I can sneak in something bad for me every once in a while, you know.
We adventure together again, except this time, I am afraid the circumstances are. The land is scarred. The ever-blooming tree.
Also, I feel like we need communication when they add events, such as to let us know it's time limited or not. XP, the bonus XP events like horrific visions, and let us know. Oh no, F experience. Wait. Horrific visions, and let us know if collector's bounty will be recurring. Yeah, that's the one question I think a lot of people had, whether it'll be happening again.
We are the Orcish Horde, the true Horde. We die, bloody and thrashing on the field of battle, like true orcs should. You
Always got to give these events their respect and listen.
speak for none but yourself. You betrayed our people to forge your fragile
For example, okay, for example, horrific visions.
will take great pleasure in tearing them apart.
I feel like horrific visions was a mystery literally until it released.
I will correct the mistake
It ended up being very similar. It just added a bunch of mounts.
Spirits of the wind, the earth, the water, hear my call. Come to
I remember I did a 5 mask on both locations, and the first thing one of my guildmates said, this is like just like a throwaway guild, like it's just a guild so I can have the perks. The first thing one of my guildmates said was, yeah, no, an 8 mask is harder though. I was like, oh thanks, you're such a nice person. I really do not trust them with Remix again after they did with Mop Remix. What did they do with Mop Remix that was goofy? What was it? What was good? What was bad?
You wish to face off against a real orc war chief. So be it. I, Garrosh, son of Grom. Anger, hatred, fear. They are weapons of war.
How do I stop it from skipping cutscenes?
Yes, I can see it now. I can see the future of this world. A world ruled by the Horde.
I know there's a way.
See the visions of fear, despair, and doubt as I have.
Does anybody know how to turn that off with DBM? I don't want to skip it. I want to watch it. It's been a while since I've like looked at it.
have seen it. It has shown me.
Announcements, wipe, timer bars.
And I will have my way.
Block in combat, block cutscenes. Only block cutscenes. I'll skip it myself, you know. I got it.
You have won.
The scaling level was broken, so you start yellow mobs auto you for 1/4 your HP when you're getting close to level cap. Dear lord. That sounds awful.
Behold my glorious destiny.
Did I kill him mid cutscene?
Is my destiny. My destiny.
I killed him mid cutscene there. We're looking for two things: Tuska Manaroth and a mount. All right, no tusks, and I'm pretty sure no mount. Making sure. All right, yeah, nothing. Take me back.
The line of Stormwind. You disappoint me, Garrosh. You are not worthy.
And they reset back people for farming frogs, retroactively called it a bug, and punish people for it. Dang.
His punishment is
Also disappointing in Mop Remix, they hyped it up as you'll get to be overpowered, and then when people formed the way they knew for Mop, they nerfed it into the ground. Wow, that's fucked. People were farming the frogs on Timeless Isle, something people have been doing since Timeless Isle came out in actual Mop. Then on Remix, people did it and Blizzard retroactively labeled it as a bug and reset people's characters. Damn. Don't you miss this version of WoW when Alliance and Horde was always grumpy at each other?
They plot against us. Seize this moment, Varian. Dismantle the Horde.
God's men.
Dang.
Father, what are you doing?
Who's that?
What a king must do.
You learn.
Speak to your war chief.
I think in this scene, Jaina's like... The theory is that Jaina's not Jaina, right?
I speak for the Horde. Very well. The Horde has committed heinous crimes, Vol'jin. But some among you fought against Garrosh's tyranny. For that, I am willing to end this bloodshed. But know this.
This is what a king does.
If your Horde fails to uphold honor as Garrosh did, we will end you.
Wah wah. But the players that got to do the frog farm early kept a huge advantage and didn't need to grind as much as the rest of us. It was only a huge advantage for a short period of time. They did not deserve to get punished for what they did. Yeah, I mean, I would say the scaling back, or I guess, what do you call it? Pushing people back to whatever it should have been their effort. Maybe not punishing. That's a bit iffy. I know people exploit just to exploit. At a certain point, when you know you're doing something wrong, I think they've established better now that like, hey, don't do this or you have a chance to. Like, I mean, for example, the turbulent timeways they exploit. Like, people understand it now,
I have a message for you.
but I don't think that's always been the case. People who only did it for 1 or 2 hours and gained basically nothing from it got it reset, including all the natural progress they made for a week after frogs got nerfed. That sucks. And then there's scaling issues between 60 and 70, which always happen every expansion. If you had a full group of non-froggers between 60 and 70, you're pretty much screwed. Level 10s were the best. Dang. You guys feel like what do you guys feel overall about time walking right now? Do you feel like it's in a good state to where it's like relatively balanced, like how they balance the levels, or do you feel like it's still like totally busted and just doesn't work as they intended to? Entire issue was not frogs, it was how insanely slow progression was at the start of Remix. They had to buff it so many times to be reasonable. So frogs was like a means to resolve that their problem. There's a guy who hit gear cap around the time the frog farmers got reset, and he did it just by farming orbs in the sky. It's just these are the weirdest sounding, like it's just sort of the strangest sounding like farms I've ever heard of. So I want everyone to know. It sounds wild, man. Normal 10 player. Or I'm saying they should have been punished. But they should have first seen it. It had been talked about and it was known, so they let it in, punishing those that couldn't take advantage of it. Like, yeah, I think the one they had in the War Within was with Renown. Like, people were exploiting Renown. There was even some top-end guilds that are in the race of World First that were exploiting Renown. And they got pushed back, and they literally just got a slap on the wrist. And everyone was like, well, they got punished, so they're not better than they're not treated better than everybody else. And it's like, bro, how many people didn't get caught doing this shit? So people still do that shit, where they act like ignorant to it all. I would say, like, if it's something they're not aware of, just dial people back. But if it's something they're aware of and it's like long standing, yeah, sure, start punishments. Progressive punishments. That's my motto. Most people got reset, lost more than they gained from the frogs in the first place. That's unfortunate. And people kept farming hyper spawns even after the frogs got nerfed. Yeah, also, if you knew what people were really doing for power and remix, you would really question Blizzard's choices. Really? Sounds like what was it? Mop Remix was like a wasteland, you know? Elegon, okay. I helped friends write a WeakAura to auto-hop shards with a starter account and farms to kill rare spawns automatically for power gains and never got punished. Time walking is horrible right now, really. Oh, I had a free account on the side. I had 2 clients open so I could boost me and my friends through dungeons because open world sucked in scaling. Oh, damn. Damn. Not being scaled down means you can be much weaker in the past. Scaling dungeons up means you can now be under geared and time walking. Yeah. I tested it with a character I'm trying to do. What I would really love to do in the future is I want to get a bunch of people together to do only classic gear. So you run only classic gear, basically nothing that's updated, no time walking gear, and do like a molten core raid. Or Ani if you can do Ani and it's like old style, like basically old style, all that stuff. Maybe even like old Nax too. And basically the goal is do the old world content with the old world gear, but basically new moves, new skill sets. It's not meant to be hard by any means or a challenge, but just something fun that like it's sort of cool to experience in retail. But you have to do a character locked at level 30. And your gear has to all be from original classic. I do like the idea of like the Herald of the Titans run. That's kind of like where I got the idea. Scaling is broken and Blizzard needs to work on fixing the system so it doesn't keep getting broken. I watched Bellular's video on new player experience. It's so bad. I feel like sometimes people look at the new player experience, they go, can you play the game without add-ons? I'm like, that's not that's not what the new player experience is at all. It really isn't that. It's not. If anything, playing without add-ons is the like better player experience, because like eventually you just get like add-on fatigue. Remix was a wasteland swamp, a completely failure. Best to get all the rewards was just to play 5 accounts at once, boost yourself to level cap in dungeons, and on 50 characters to buy stuff. That is extremely unfortunate to hear, but it doesn't sound like, what's the word for it? Doesn't sound unlike Blizzard to do something like that. I used to be in a strict 60 classic gear and chance only raiding guild before Blizzard started their scaling saga. Yeah, it's difficult with scaling. The new player experience is leveling too fast, falling behind gear forever, getting crushed by white mobs because of it. Yeah, I think the leveling experience being fast, they got this idea that people hated the leveling experience because it took too long. And so they went, let's make the leveling experience meaningless and short. And they went, people are loving it. See, they're making tons of alts. Like, okay. I think you're wrong. Very, very wrong. And then you cry for a friend who just boosted you instead. As for the add-ons, 99% of the people use add-ons not to need them in the first place. I remember when truly though, add-ons you didn't need were like add-ons back then that would make your UI, like your mini map, it would put like a dragon on it. It would give like your buttons like a stupid glow. Those were the add-ons you didn't need, you know. We just didn't know how good we had it, you know? Nowadays, you can definitely get far without add-ons, but I do think you need add-ons to reduce clutter, and that's kind of unfortunate that they haven't designed it into their game to make like their edit mode more accommodating. A good player without add-ons will always obliterate average player, even if the average one has all the add-ons. 100%. I think it's no more about knowing your class and knowing your abilities more than anything else. Add-ons are a crutch, but ultimately add-ons are Blizzard's fault because add-ons are birthed from poor game design. And if it's easier to automate it or have an add-on do it for you, then people will do it because they do not like the tedium of having to manage things that can be designed in a more optimal way to make it to where it's not so tedious. I will always default to most player issues and player problems. People like to dismiss easily as self-induced, like players induced it on themselves, but in reality it's always comes from a place of Blizzard's poor design. I like some add-ons, most of the ones that tell me to farm things without having to bring up WoW and stuff like that. Yeah, like profession routes, auction stuff, like I always do that. What's other good ones that I like? Like highlighters. I like stuff to tell me, like you see my lights there. I like stuff to tell me like, hey, these are like 1-2 minute cooldowns that are good to go. Yeah, I like stuff that tells me that. Just because I forget which ones are like coming up, you know. That way I can line them up better. Like, hey, Avatar is available, and then you can also cast Ravager, you know, like that type of thing. Add-ons in PvP are a serious issue. They hurt everyone in PvP. Yeah. But then again, the old system was kind of brutal too. Because the old system of PvP where you had to have like 4 different buttons so you could target a few people or self-target or target this character or target your focus or target your mouse over. I had so many versions of like the same fucking button. It was kind of irritating. Back then it was like rotation macros and like multi-function buttons. Like conditionals, you know? If not, then this, then if yes, then this. All right, chat, you ready?
The machine has been destroyed, and so the mogul's power weakens. These discs look familiar, but I cannot place their origin. They call to me. The discs. I see everything.
I got excited. I thought that was it. I thought that was it right there. I got excited. That was dumb.
Mogul salvaged and repurposed ancient Titan
In
technology.
PvE, they only really matter for Mythic rating and high end and Mythic Plus. You say that, but I mean, like, yes, you absolutely need them in those scenarios, but it benefits somebody in low Mythic Plus to where it's second nature. Like, why wouldn't you use them? Like, yes, you don't absolutely need them, but still, it makes life easier. So why wouldn't you include them? Outside of that, I think healers have to use add-ons just because of how bad the base UI is at giving you required information. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. The other thing is as well, I mean, like, this is just a good example. Let's see. Let's see. Let's just do like revenge. These are all abilities that affect my ability revenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 different passives that affect my ability revenge. And I could do that with probably nearly every ability. But that's unfortunate. X, knowing someone, or example, knowing someone is about to get shot by 3 archers at once will die without an external defense being used. For me, it's like when you're in you're Mythic Plus pulling a group of like 10, and I need a plater add-on to remind me which one is the one that's going to be the caster that I can interrupt of those group. Not necessarily that it's the only one that's casting, but that's the one I can interrupt. Additionally, there's only certain spells I can interrupt, so I need a weak aura that's going to tell me like, hey, you can spell block this, or hey, you can spell reflect this. Which could be amended if it wasn't cognitive whack-a-mole. Being able to know what's going to happen by indicators is having time to press abilities instead of having to go, oh shit, panic mode. Yeah, there's within a phase, there's like 4 different things you have to worry about, where it used to be like, hey, in this phase do this, in this phase do this, hey, in this phase you can't do this. Like it's not so one-dimensional now, and it's like you need these things just to help you, remind you like, hey, this is on rotation. There's so much going on all at once, depending on your role, depending on your positioning, depending on so many things. Number of specs in the game that impose almost any cognitive load is extremely... Wait. The number of specs in the game that impose almost any cognitive load is extremely low. Like you're saying that any spec that requires like a bit of thinking. I disagree with that. I think most specs are a challenge to truly learn and understand. There are a few that are like they're already single button rotation, but I'd say most require some bit of rotation or understanding. Yes, they can be simplified once learned, but so can anything else. Obviously, there are a few like Shaman, Arcane Mage that are good examples. I think it is good for a few specs in the game to be wrinkle wranglers though. That's hilarious. I love that, wrinkle wranglers. It's not the specs I mean the combat altogether has been spam your buttons as fast as possible and know exactly what to press in all different conditions. Yeah, that's why, by the way, that's why the single button rotation does better than 75% of Mythic Plus players, like reported. It's because you are spamming buttons all the time. Right now, the methodology of the game is you need to be pressing a button at all times. So the fact that the single button assistant has a debuff to it doesn't hurt people enough and makes it still easy breezy, because you're pressing buttons at all times. You are pressing a button when you're running, you're pressing a button when you're jumping, when you're spinning, you're turning around, you are pressing a button. And so if you can't cognitively think about, okay, I gotta get out of this circle, okay, I gotta position here, oh, gotta stand still, okay, now I need to go over here, and you can also press buttons every second at a time and know the next button rotation next button in your rotation is gonna be the best one to press. Damn, that's a lot of power, but for the most part, most people aren't that way. 90% of people aren't that way. We're not garden gnomes, get some played on. Yes, sir. What's up, my shoe? I forget which one I had equipped for this one. Interesting. That shit looks so bad on me. It's like clipping so bad. I don't know if I like the blue. Could be better. Like the specs being complicated, the issue is Blizzard based UI not providing required information in a digestible way. 100%. There's an add-on you can get that'll tell you like all the passives that go behind that one particular ability, and it like crazy to look at. You should be able to know what gear piece is good for you and select on the fly without having to sim your character. Simming should be optional. Now it's required. Yeah, it's like, it's, to me, I used to look at Atlas loot and loot tables and be like, that's the piece. That's the piece that I really hope I get. I just go to Abyss list that's been simmed to death, you know? They need to be careful how much they slow down and simplify specs though. Yeah, I mean, there of course there is less is more, and I think button bloat is a problem. I'm not saying though we need to make it to where this is a like I've seen some MMOs where it's like, okay, you have like 3 abilities and one is offensive, one is defensive, one is utility. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I think that a lot of condensing can be done, or if you're gonna make everything like passives, let's make it understandable where those passives are coming from. Slowing it down doesn't mean face roll, it just means making meaningful choices that give you time to choose, more accessibility to players to get into content. Agreed. Yep. Slowing it down does for better players that can handle more at once because they feel like more. I will say about the slowing down part, I think that this is a problem Blizzard created because they went, add-ons are solving our boss fights, so how do we make things harder? We make it to where everything's faster and you have less time to respond, and we put a bunch of circles on the ground because that's the only thing that a deadly boss mods or some sort of add-on can't solve for you. You don't know where they're going to be placed. It's not like the weak auras would be like, hey, it's not going to go here, so stand here. So I'm sure they could make a weak aura that says it's most likely not to appear here, like, or something like that. I'm sure they could make something like that. This whole go, gotta go is super stressful and alienating for players who, and it's crept into every aspect of the game. Yeah, no, I agree. Not every spec has to be that way. Not every spec is even that way right now. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that there's some way, like something like for Warrior's pretty simple to grasp and understand. I just think right now for Warriors, it's hard to understand your build, like why things proc for certain reasons or why you want to cast certain spells more often. Like logically, you wouldn't want to cast Shield Slam a whole bunch in a large group because, well, anything like Thunderclap or Revenge might be better because they're AoE, but you do want to cast Shield Slam a great deal because Shield Slam activates a great deal of your spec as prot. So it's like, it's not necessarily logical Like, you don't logically come to that course of action. You just got to read all the passives that go behind Shield Slam and what it does. You can't even learn the game through low-level dungeons anymore without having someone to be gotta go fast. Yeah, gotta go fast, or the alternative, which is you can't even learn the game through easy content because A, either doesn't translate into harder content, or 2, it's just button spam. Better, thank you, my shoe. I appreciate it. Thank you. Learning while you level is pointless. You can learn any DPS spec in a few hours to an acceptable level. Yes. No. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no because learning it and like doing it on like a training dummy is one thing, doing it in a Mythic Plus is another, and then doing it in a higher Mythic Plus is another thing. Additionally, saying learning is one thing, but then also just like reading a guide and just go, okay, there's my build. This says my rotation is this. All right, I have to have this armor, or these stats, and then walking into a dungeon and then just going, okay, I mash these buttons. Like, did you learn anything in that at all? I don't think. I don't think that's. I consider that learning. If you disagree with guides being how to learn how to play properly is a different issue. I'm fine with it. Some people just like that way. If you agree or disagree with guides being how to learn, I think that it's necessary. I would say is I don't like it, but I think it's necessary. I don't think you can do it without it, because you'll make a lot of mistakes with statting, and you'll make a lot of mistakes with optimizing. It's just not worth it. It's not as simple as it used to be, where it's like, hey, as long as you reach this hit rating, just max out your strength and then, you know, sneak some stam into there. Not as simple anymore. But not only is it not simple, it's not understandable at all. Like, you know, why I should prefer certain stats over others, when all of my stats I have like thousands of points into them, you know? Can you try to get out of your perspective for a second and look at it feels for a new returning player into the game and not adjusting the game to be accessible? We run out of players. Yeah, no, I agree, Mono. You're being a little bit shallow in your perspective. You're saying like it should be easy. This should be perspective. Like everyone needs to adapt to my thoughts, but I think we've all been in the perspective at some point in our gaming career with WoW, where we've dedicated ourselves to some of the challenging form of gameplay, but we can still come to the game a point where we're not saying we should make the game just overall easier and give it to just make everything a gimme, but we should make things accessible, and accessible means that we're making it to where people don't need outside sources. When people use things like add-ons, it's for personal preference, and that when we throw a new player into it, they can derive enjoyment and not do the most optimal thing on their own, and it not be the end of the world. You could say those things happen, but it's not the majority of the cases. It's not the majority of the cases that happen. I do not need to get out of my perspective. She's not asking you that you have to. She's just saying it's being a little obtuse to say that like it's definitively your perspective. We understand your perspective, and I've partially agreed with most of the things you've said. because a lot of casters say they got button bloat. A lot of melee are like, hey, it's harder for us. We need more, I guess, more definitive ways to understand our specs, because we have to deal with a lot more in raid fights or in raids and in dungeons than casters do. It's not necessarily saying just like hit harder, you know, let me hit harder, but make it to where it's easier to understand. And there's a lot of people going like they cast a rotation, but they don't know why. It's not just one person. New players quitting before they reach max level because the game is inaccessible, isn't good for the game. Joining a dungeon, you have to be as fast as possible and not giving time to orientate. They have to be careful how they tackle it, though. I think making every spec easy would be a wrong way to tackle it. She's not saying easy, though. Yes, you shouldn't do that. Yes, you shouldn't make everything easy, but you should make it to where abilities and rotations isn't just based off of, hey, if I do this, if this stacks this many times, if this scenario happens, if these two things proc, if this thing happens, like in your thinking of this actively, that's why I cast my spells. Right now, the majority of things happen because like, oh, this pops, like this thing causes this buff temporarily, and in this window I can get this to happen and I will have more damage. And right now too many stars have to align for things to go well, to where it's not understandable what you're doing all the time to the average player. You're just doing because it's flashing, you know. It's just strange, and most people aren't looking into it in that type of depth. Choice of more or less buttons would be good. I like having more buttons versus being a Fury Warrior. I mean, Fury Warriors have less buttons, yes, but you are constantly casting stuff to both rage dump and to maximize the amount of crit you're doing. It's not as simple as it seems superficially, even though I believe warriors are easier than most classes. One button doesn't teach you how to play. It's demotivating. Having to tell my friend it's new to the game that she's better off using one button because she doesn't understand or care for simming, and because she doesn't understand the gearing. The game is terrible for new and returning players these days. Yeah, I'd say they've done a lot to get people invested, I guess reinvested, by saying like, hey, it's easy to do this, so you can jump in super quick, but for like a new player, no. You should put her on an easy to understand spec while she learns everything else in the game. I'd say typically you want people to play like I would say my typical rule, like modify that slightly. I always tell people to play the one that they like the best, like the class fantasy they like the best, because even if it's hard, you'll do better with a class you like versus one you don't. Like I'll never do great with like a paladin. Maybe not a paladin. Maybe paladin, but I'll never do great with like, I would say like priest or mage. I really don't like casters. I don't like playing casters. Learning raid, learning dungeon, learning a spec are all compartmentalized knowledge. I would say learning a spec though, like I see what you're saying, but learning a spec is applied into a raid. Learning a spec is applied into a dungeon. So it's like those things intermingle and they overlap, right? Learning them all at once is going to be awful. If you're going to break it down in separate groups, it would make it easier. But Blizzard should design the game to where you can learn on the job. You should be able to learn that while you're playing and not have to like individually focus on those things and practice them. Yes, to master, yes, to reach that skill ceiling, but not to start out. She was playing a balanced drill and made a reroll BM Hunter because at least more straightforward, and her DPS was still horrible with one button. Only thing is I can say I'm too far gone. I can't really understand how people struggle with spec anymore. Hey, and that's what I'm here for. That is what my content is for. I am here to provide perspectives for the people who are both doing very well as the people who are struggling. I think somewhere in the middle is where we all lie. I think for the most part, we can be compassionate towards those who are trying to learn, and we want to provide them routes in order to learn, but not everybody learns the same, and sometimes people can't get to the way get to how you got there. Like, I could consider myself too far gone, for example, because every time I've looked back on previous times I played the game in previous expansions, I go, man, I was really not good at the game. And then I get to the next expansion, and I look at the previous expansion, and I go, man, I was really not good at the game. And I kept on doing that, and until I realized, like, oh yeah, I get better each time I play this game, but I don't realize that I'm bad until later on. And I think that over time you have this built-in like reflex, but like a built-in like, I understand how this is gonna go, and I think that's great. But some people, especially people who haven't played MMOs, may not be used to that. I think MMOs are great because it can teach you something about all other types of games, in some aspect. But if you've never played an MMO, you may not be ready for that. We're all beginners at some point, exactly. You need to stop gatekeeping new players. Blizzard has created between being a new player and experienced players so huge, the step is too high. Yeah, like the step, like if you think about it, like between Delves and Mythic Plus, a lot of people who do Delves are geared enough to do like a +7, but the gap between this, like the minimum skill entry is massive. Not sure you can do anything about the people wanting to be efficient with their time, though. For sure, I don't think you can do that either. I think min-maxing will always be a thing. I think people always want to be efficient with their time and do things the fastest way. Like, how fast can I get from 0 to performing? When I go to time walking or leveling dungeon, I'm never going to call someone out for being slow unless they're griefing. That's good. And pulling, pulling used to be meaningful. It used to be the tank that pulls. Nowadays, if you're not fast enough as a tank, DPS healer will pull. Yeah, I would say if you're in any game mode, end game mode, or time walking, leveling, PvP, Mythic Plus rating, if you're playing any of those and you haven't seen any toxicity, it might be because you're the one who's toxic. There's toxicity in all those things, and the toxicity usually comes from someone lacking experiencing and someone lacking the patience. Usually two parts. I'm back as itchy, so I'm using this empty bottle to scratch it. I can't reach it. Going time walking and your tank is a 1 pack at a time. Andy, who cares? Just let him do his thing. Okay, but I think the DPS healers pulling their tank are legitimately a problem. I never do that to the tank. It's not got nothing to do with people are being good. They're just cringe gamers, true. And doing that annoying stuff is not limited to good players anyway. The terrible ones do it too. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I will say there is I wouldn't say it's like a 1-to-1, but like for every 5 toxic good players, I say good quote unquote, because if you're toxic to other people, you're probably not totally good, right? But for every 5 toxic good players, there's 1 toxic, like bad player who's like, you don't pay my sub, and then they have like, you try to critique them or be like, hey, like here's some criticism, and they don't take it well. Sure, they exist. I have a 660 item level on my main. Even though I would love to do harder content, I don't dare to go into Input Plus, fear of ruining it for everyone. So the highest content I do now is Delves and LFR. I have people queue for healer for time walking and respect DPS, only to have me die as Brewmaster on a bad curve of scaling, and they blame me. Yeah, I've never seen that. That does sound terribly toxic. Even though I know at my skill level, it's not just possible for me to have been the issue in that situation. Time walking normal dungeons is a bad experience these days because people go because Blizzard because of the go gotta go fast, and it's because Blizzard has trained people to be that way with N+ timers. Yeah, I think a lot of things reflexively cause a bad mentality in other aspects of the game. We're trying to be that way as soon as dungeons transitioned out of more classic style, even in Wrath. I mean, yeah, I could argue that it kind of started with LFG. Once queuing for dungeons became automated and less social, people were less willing to deal with the people that they queued with, because it's like, now it's automated, so why should I don't have to like help you out or help you get better and make these community interactions that made this game good. By the way, one of the greatest things about WoW wasn't necessarily the stuff that Blizzard designed, it was the accidental interactions in the game that people created because they were interacting with each other. Blizzard has done a lot to remove those interactions by automating things or making things queue systems to where you don't interact with players whatsoever. And because of that, they have removed the patience that people have with helping players out to kind of like build themselves up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jellybean? But we've gone on long enough. We've got 2 mounts. We were successful. I'm super happy. Happy to have some more mounts. We will be doing next stream. I will likely be doing a Molten Core raid, Blackwing Lair, Molten Core, and Black Temple. But for those of you who didn't know, this Sunday I will be shoutcasting for a classic Makara tournament. Basically, players are going to level characters in 3 hours. They have 3 hours time. They will have to get their characters as high as they possibly can, and in that time, get things like the professions, get all their items, and duel. And so I am going to be shoutcasting for the event, watching the players as they go along. And I would appreciate the support for the event. This is run by MF the Mystic. They are a TikTok streamer and creator. You can check me out. I will be streaming on my channel. I don't know if we'll be doing any co-streaming or anything like that, or in a Discord call or anything like that. But with that being the case, please do join. Please do check us out. It'll be Sunday, Sunday. I just forgot the time. I just blanked on the time. I have it in my community real quick. It'll be Sunday. So the Sunday the 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. 9 p.m. my time, I think, is what it is. But that'll be a time frame. So Makara tournament. Join us for the Makara tournament. Hope to see you there. Additionally, we have a big thing coming up August 1st, so we'll be running a stream. I will be sharing the channel. I'll be streaming up in the Discord, so if you're not already in the Discord and you haven't joined the Turtle Club, check out the links in my bio for that. We have a forum there called Turtle Time where you can post things kind of like in a Reddit format, where you can post like images and links and stuff like that. And you can post WoW content that you want me to react to, talk about, mention in videos, stream about, etc. So join us on the Discord for that content, as well as the future upcoming events that we have going on. I am hoping to do another episode of the Hearths and Craft podcast soon. I just got to find creators who are wanting to do it. I want to have a few creators on, at least like 3 creators, like 3 or 4 creators in, would be great. So more creators that we can find and link up with, hopefully the more episodes of Hearts and Crafts that we can have as well. All right, that's all I got for me today. Thank you for hanging out with me today, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you for your patience, all my TikTok folks. Sorry that we streamed in landscape. I really didn't mean to. I meant to change it just before, but TikTok's weird, okay? But that's all I got for me today, guys. Appreciate you guys. Peace.